This is Michael J. Martin, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online.
The only difference between life and death, the only difference is just a breath. Take your time and breathe. Open your eyes and see the next move you make could be your final.
All right, welcome back to the final part of the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker as we wrap up the show. And you can be part of the show in our last chance to get in on the act. And it's Gary.Russen on Skype. I got that opened. You can join me there. I've got a lot of friends on there, of course, but not too many people call on there, so you can get on Skype. If you're listening to me and you're following me on Facebook, a direct line right there. And you can call me on, get back in there, Messenger. And you can call me on Messenger. And I will respond on the air, and we'll put you on the air live right here on GRB as we have the final part of GRP right now. What do you think? This 2017, this year, what is the biggest news to wrap up? I mean, what do you think this year? What do you think this year? What's the biggest story to wrap up 2000? What is it? What do you think? What do you think the biggest story for 2017 is? In your opinion, what do you think this year will be remembered for? I think a lot of it would be for protesting and all the violence and racism and hatred against each other, which is really, really sad. It really is. It's a pity that we have come down this far in just really. Well, Ben Usman Usan, he liked our second part of the Gary Russen program. Thank you so much for that posting. Need to get a hold of you. I'm going to get a hold of you, but I've got a couple of year-end review shows coming up. So I'm thinking right after the year-end review show, I'll be doing another, what I call spontaneous broadcasting. That means I just go on the air for the heck of going on the air live. That's what I do. I just go on the air for the heck of it. And just on the internet only, no FM. And we just have a straight show where we just have fun and talk. And we can arrange for a live broadcast, and you can be a guest on, and we'll chat for the whole freaking show, man. I mean, the whole thing. You want to talk an hour and a half? We'll talk an hour and a half. You want to talk, a couple hours? We could do that. About anything that's going on in the news, and maybe we can get some listeners and get some call-ins, and it'd be kind of fun. So, Ben, would suggest I will send you a message on Facebook and let you know when we can just get together. You can call live yet if you want to. It's the last 45 minutes or so of the show. So if you want to get in on the act that way, you're welcome to do so before we close out today. Otherwise, just enjoy the program the rest of the way. And I'm on Skype. I got that now. So get in on that. Skype, Gary.Russen. And I have it showing I'm online. So all you got to do is just, I think if you have Skype, you just go into that line there and just put in a search engine, and it will show me there, and it'll give you the information. And all you got to do is click that phone button on your Skype. There's a little button there where you just click the call button and that phone emblem, and you just hit call, and you can be on the show. And it'll ring in here to the studio, and then I just pick up and say you're on the air, and we go from there. So you're welcome to do so. We got about exactly 33 minutes left of the show, or so, a little less than that. And I usually use this last part to kind of talk over some stuff. We're going to remember some things. And I also talk about what's coming up on GJRB. This is usually the segment where I talk about our program schedule for the rest of the week. I do that. I was going to do a conversational sports page. The only thing to talk about, like I said, I'm going to do, let me see if I can get into the YouTube real quick or Facebook and do weather and do sports. Fox Sports Radio. Let's see. I'm going to go Fox Sports Radio. Can go to Fox Sports and see what's going on in the world of sports. Let's see. Fox Sports Radio. I'm going to go in and see the headline section and see what's going on. So a little conversational sports here. And usually what I do there is I'll pull up my sports theme. Go ahead and click out of that because I really don't always use that. Thanks, I'm done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop in that sports page theme. Okay, let's see. Do the sports page thing. I'm going to go to my sports page. Sports page. Okay. Somehow, I don't know why, my sports page doesn't show up there. Okay, my sports page opening or my drive-through. Let me see. Wait a minute here. I know where I can get that right away. Let's see here. Go into my. I'm on my web-based mixer, so I can go right into that. I got that theme on my. Okay, in my jingle part. Okay. Alright, let's see, the theme of my jingle part here. Okay, let's see. Drive-through music, here we go. So we can go ahead now and do sports page update. Okay. And let's take a look at the world of sports here on GJRB Online here on... we haven't done this show for a while, but it will be coming back. Gary J Sports Page returns this month coming up here on GJRB Online, so just be aware of that. Sports Page returns on GJRB Online. And let's see if there's any scores. I want to go into my Yahoo. Don't have to sign in necessarily. All I want to see is scores. So I'm just going to kind of go into the sports section and just see what's going on in the world of sports. Let's take a look at some of the action going on right now in some of the games. Okay, I'm going to go into this one. This is the Music City Bowl right now I'm looking at. I think this has just started. They're in the second quarter right now. 14:51 left. And the Kentucky's ahead 7-3 over Northwestern. So Kentucky's doing good. Ahead of Northwestern. Fantabulous. I'm going to take a look at the rest of the scores here. We'll go to that page. Well, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and hit trending. Let me see. Where's the scores here? I'm going to go into this one. Okay, I'm going to hit that and see if I can get the rest of my scores here. Okay, let me see. Scores. Let me see if we can pull that off. Let's see. Here we are. Scores. All right, let's see what's going on here. The Sugar Bowl. Sugar Bowl, I think that's getting played later. So is the Rose Bowl. Those two, I think, are New Year's Day, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go further down the line here and see what's going on in the Music City Bowl. We just did that. In the Sun Bowl, North Carolina is beating Arizona State 28-10. In the Cotton Bowl, that's coming up. These are the games coming up. The Cotton Bowl is 7:30 Central Time. The Cotton Bowl gets played. That's USC over Ohio State. Saturday, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Wisconsin plays Miami in the Orange Bowl. Fiesta Bowl looks at 10-2 Washington over 10-2 Penn State. I have to watch the Fiesta Bowl. That's Saturday, 3 o'clock. I'm going to be doing some production here. I'm going to check and see. I want to watch the Fiesta Bowl, Penn State. Tax Slater Bowl gets played on Saturday, December 30th at 11 a.m. Louisville against Mississippi State. Iowa State in the Liberty Bowl, Saturday at 11:30 a.m. against Memphis. Whoa. Sugar Bowl has Alabama against Clemson. Georgia is going to play Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl. And then the Peach Bowl is UCF against Auburn. Citrus Bowl has Notre Dame against LSU. Those are really good games coming up. So I'm going to be able to watch. I might be watching the Fiesta Bowl, only because I think it's Penn State. No, I'm going to want to watch that one for sure. So that's 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to watch that. Notre Dame against LSU, and then over in some of the games that are done right now, the Las Vegas Bowl. Boise State beat Oregon 38-28. That was a good game. They won by 10. Boise State against Oregon. They're 38-28, so Oregon lost against Boise State. Camping World Bowl. Never heard of this one. That's another bowl. They got so many bowls. Anyway, not enough to put it in there. See, they got so many bowls and not enough. Yeah, so how do they put out so many bowls, and what do they do with all those bowls? What do they stick in there? I just kind of wonder. I think they're just like too full. Okay. Anyway, I'll let that go. Virginia Tech got beat out by Oklahoma State 30-21. And Holiday Bowl, Michigan State beating Washington State 42-17. And the Alamo Bowl had TCU over Stanford 39-37. So that gives me information for tomorrow. I'll probably be watching the Fiesta Bowl for sure. Because I'm from Pennsylvania. I do like Penn State. Although I really don't know. I've been kind of away from Penn State for a while, only because that incident regarding Joe Paterno. But, that's just the end of a freaking era, for heaven's sakes, technically, that was over a long time ago, but I don't know. Just interesting. I'm going to go to a different page here. I'm going to check out some of the interesting stories in sports. So we're going to go back to the sports home and see what's going on in the world of sports right now. Raptors suspended Serge Ibaka after an altercation with staff members. Redskins Grodian Bucks Coder will reportedly return to the team in 2018. Number 16, Kentucky claims its fans' concerns with route of rival Louisville. And the Pistons, Bradley denies sexual assault allegations. So there's another athlete who has, again, sexual allegations up against him. Speaking of which, I wanted to do a piece, and I don't know, I didn't board it, It's just I got busy with other stuff. I was going to do a piece, which I thought was kind of interesting, and regarding that very subject, and that is the song "Baby It's Cold Outside," which I played on my crooner show on the 13th with Dean Martin, and I think it was I don't remember who was singing with him. And I don't know if I want to do that story. I was kind of debating on talking about this story. They're considered as a date rape anthem. And the reason for it is the words of the song. I think what I'll do is I'll set that aside for a possibility, because you could basically take that song and play it through the rest of winter. I mean, I know it's played at Christmas, but I could get away with playing it the rest of the season. Okay, but I don't like now that I'm reading it, I don't like the song for what it seems to promote. And I want to talk about that for a couple minutes before we close out. The Rams are resting on a lot. Many NFL players have incentives in their contracts. And here and there we'll find a story on a player who's upset about the coaching decision that kept him from getting his bonus. Rams are dragging the rest of the starters debate into the new millennium, and Mike D'Antoni and Jason Tandem. I'm trying to think about what I could say without being tampering. I don't know. Some of the interesting stories on the Facebook, on the YouTube side of the sports, the Yahoo Sports. So we'll just kind of digging in through some of those. But that is Sports Page, just a little brief look. And I'm going to be bringing back Sports Page as a segment on this show, but I'm also going to bring back Sports Page Talk Show every couple of weeks coming up this month. So I will post that. That is going to be a spontaneous show. So you never know when that will be on the air. I will post an announcement on the GJRB Spreaker Public site when I will do Sports Page, and I will be putting that as a spontaneous show for now, but it will return back to its Saturday time slot every other Saturday. Okay, at 12 o'clock noon Central. We haven't returned back to our band practice on Saturday night, so I don't know, Saturday evening, so I don't know whether or not I'm going to do that. So, 2 o'clock on a Saturday. But right now I'm reserving it for either noon or 2. So it's kind of a toss-up at this point. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. So I will let you know what comes about out of that. So watch for that. But anyway, talking about this song, Baby It's Cold Outside, rape anthem. They're saying that this song, if you listen to the words very, very, very carefully, could construed when this guy is forcing her to stay when she needs to go. Baby It's Cold Outside. Is it a festive traditional song, or has it become a date rape anthem?
Recently, we've woken up to the song's more date rapey undertones.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
But Baby It's Cold Outside is still everywhere during the holiday season, and some are trying to save the song's reputation. A common excuse is, oh,
that's just how people talked back then. It's a sign of the times.
But if you dig a little bit deeper, it becomes clear that the male character was always intended to be a predator. In the original sheet music, the characters aren't written as man and woman or him and her. It's wolf and mouse, hunter and hunted, stalker and victim. Now, in an effort to make the song more palatable, the gender roles are increasingly being reversed. Like most recently with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Lady Gaga, or even Michael Bublé and Miss Piggy. But let's face it, not even Mother Monster or a Muppet can make this any better.
I've got to get home.
But baby, it freezes out there.
Say, lend me a coat.
It's up to your knees out there.
The host ignores his lady friend's request for a coat to
And of
try and
course,
force
they
her to
both
stay the
can't
night.
sing,
He's denying
okay?
her the agency to make her own decision to leave.
The neighbors might think.
Baby, it's bad out there.
Say, what's in this drink?
No caps to be had out there.
What's in this drink? Could the seasonal scumbag date rape alarm be going off any louder right now? This feels less romantic date and more nightmare starring Bill Cosby.
I ought to say no, no, no.
Mind
sir.
if I move in closer?
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my pride?
Even though she says no 3 times, the guy still advances. And then when she doesn't consent, it's all about his hurt feelings. What, are we supposed to care about this guy's toxic, wounded masculinity? It's fucked. Look, this isn't part of the war on Christmas. You can keep Charlie Brown, keep eggnog, keep Santa Claus. We can even keep those ugly-ass knit sweaters. They're kind of cute. But Baby It's Cold Outside is one Christmas tradition we should leave exactly where it belongs. In the past.
Yeah. And there you go. The song, I looked it up, and the song was actually put out in 1948, and it was in a movie. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look that up because I thought I had saved it. I'm not sure if I did or not, but it started in a movie, and a lot of people have sung it since then. But since the controversy in the date rape thing, or the accusations that are coming up against guys like this Harvey Weinstein, and the accusations against Bill Cosby, the possibility that this song, surprised it isn't banned yet, because the song itself, if you listen to the words, I agree with this one, because it sounds predatory when you listen to the words so very, very, very closely. And I have to say that I am not. I played it on this recent crooners that I had for Christmas. My Christmas crooners, Dean Martin version. Dean Martin, I can't remember who was singing with him. I have to look in the playlist. But the song, I think it was Kathy Matera. Just to look it up. But anyway, I will not play that song on this station ever again. The song will definitely not be in my rotation. I'm going to take it off. You'll never hear that song ever again on the station. As a matter of fact, I'll be taking off the Christmas shows about middle of January anyway, to make room for the year's new shows. So I'll probably, that show will probably eventually get deleted off the Spreaker public site. So if you want to listen to that show, that's great one more time. But remember, I will be taking that show off the Spreaker public site within a couple of weeks or so. So just to let you know about that, because I like to make room for fresher shows as we get into the new year. As I said, brand new stuff, spontaneous broadcasting. Never know when GJRB will be on the air. We're going to have various programming days. We'll not be on the air tomorrow. We're going to be off the air tomorrow. I got some production to do, head toward our year-end review show. So we'll be off the air tomorrow, but we'll be on the air, and I'll be off the air on New Year's. But I'll return on the air Tuesday, January 2nd, 2 o'clock Central, January 2nd, 2018 for GJRB's first broadcast of 2018. And it will be the year-end review, the Gary Russen Program year-end review show. And we might have the pastor's message for the year-end predictions, and we might not. It just depends on whether or not we will have service on Sunday and Sunday night. If that's the case, I will be booking an interview set up with our pastor. We'll talk about those year-end predictions, and I'll set up a interview segment with him sometime, and we'll talk about it. And I'll record it, and then we'll have it on a Gary Russen program, okay, and a future show. So that's how we'll do that, and I'll play it on the future show, and then you can listen to it that way. I figured that, it'd be better to do it that way, and it would be a good idea if it gets canceled. So otherwise, what we'll do in that case is I'll pick a few more clips from past Gary Russen programs. I had reserved a spot on the Tuesday show for that prediction segment. But if it gets canceled on New Year's Eve, what I'll do is I will add some clips, more clips from some shows. Probably some clips from later this year. Some clips from August and from July, August, and September programs, and I'll find a few of those to fill that time. So, and that will be the last part, probably about a few of those. And then we'll go into the final part of the show, and usually, like I said, I'm having a spontaneous sequel or a sequel of that show slated for a tentative Wednesday, January 10th, 2018 at 2 o'clock Central, and that will be the sequel, the year-end review, the sequel, and we'll wrap up all the clips for 2017's Gary Russen program. As we'll start a brand new year, and then I'll schedule a Gary Russen program for 2018 somewhere in that too. So just to let you know about that. And then I've got other spontaneous shows coming up, including Bluegrass Jubilee. We're going to try to bring back that blues show I promised you. My blues house will be opening up its doors again, and we'll have that spontaneous. All those will be spontaneous broadcasts, which means they could be on the air any time. And, of course, the return of Rock Worship, the Positive Rock Show, CCF Church services will be coming back for live runs, and we'll have Bible study back as well as the last 7 days. And way out there, all returning in January, right here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker across America. You know, the What's Happening sound. GJRB Online, still the What's Happening sound. Yep, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB as we wrap up our show for today and close out this last show, regular show of 2017. It's been an interesting year. It's been quite a year of storms. We had a lot of those. Tornadoes, hurricanes. Look at the earthquakes that hit a lot of areas that don't get earthquakes, like Oklahoma, but Dover, Delaware, and earthquakes in some of the Midwestern cities. I mean, it's been a brutal year for a lot of stuff, and now we're getting these severe storm, these winter storms, this deep freeze that we're in right now. And it's just terrible. We've just got a lot of really bad weather and the storms and all that. And what's 2018 going to bring? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. 2018 is going to be an interesting year. It's going to have a lot of... we're going to continue to broadcast until we can't no more. We're going to continue to broadcast. I'm going to keep on pushing the envelope, folks. I'm going to keep on broadcasting until I can't. In 2017, we're going to have more live broadcasts with this spontaneous. Really, the thing that's going to hold me back pretty much would probably be March. And like I said earlier, I got that surgery coming up. And to get this brain tumor out. And, you know, it scares me a little bit. It does. Because I don't know what to expect. Be honest with you, I really don't. I don't know what this is going to do. I don't know what I'm going to be looking at, and I'm not trying to think about it right now. I'm just doing these radio shows to get my mind off of it a little bit. I just wanted to mention that March, we might not be on the air at all. March might be one of those months where I might have to be off the air for a little bit. I'm going to try to be on by April. I'm going to try to return in April. I'm going to work that best to make sure that I do come back in April. I'm going to maintain my sharpness so that I can be back on the air in April. And we can continue broadcasting through the rest of the year again. But let's just see what happens in 2018. Because with all this stuff going on in the news, it's going to get really hairy. So we want to hope that maybe perhaps the news, what's going on in the news, that maybe we have a little bit of time together before we close out this show. And we close out, and GJRB goes away for any reason. Or GJRB goes away, KQV, and goes off the air. But it's going to be a while before that happens, folks. I'm going to do a lot more programs. It's just, I might have to take a break for a while and get rid of this thing in my head. And once I do, then I'll be back to entertain you again and bring more programs to the internet radio on GJRB here on Spreaker. But it's going to be a little bit of time off the air in March, and I'll let you know the exact date of the surgery, and I'll let you know how long I'll be off the air when that time comes. Okay? But as for now, we're just going to keep it as is. Okay? We're just going to keep going. Keep broadcasting. Keep doing the things we're doing here on GJRB Online. Still going to keep on doing radio. And keep on having fun. So, there you go. Want to thank you so much for listening to the show today. I'm Gary J. Russen, and on Spreaker across America. And that's going to wrap it up for the Gary Russen program today. And thanks a lot for tuning in to GJRB Online on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for listening and listening to our Freestyle Friday edition of the Gary Russen program. And we'll be back again for another edition of the Gary Russen program when we bring you our year-end review show on Tuesday. And we'll have more fun doing the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online. Continue to have fun talking and stuff. And we'll continue to talk about some of the stuff that I like to do in 2017 and 2018. And keep the show up. So that's going to do it for me. That's it for now. That's it for the Gary Russen program. Thanks a lot for tuning in to the Gary Russen program today. And we'll have another edition of the Gary Russen program on Tuesday with our year-end review. Until then, have a great weekend and Happy New Year from GJRB and the Gary Russen program. So long, everyone. Strange things in the sky and around the world. Strange beings sighted. What's going on? All around us, conspiracy theories are being discussed. This is the show all about the strange things that are way out there. I'm Gary Russen. This Way Out There's back with more weird stories of the strange and the bizarre. Keep looking up in the sky and let me know what you see. Way out there. Every third Friday at 2 o'clock Central on GJRB. America's Street Music is back on GJRB, Bluegrass with the Grassgolds, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle, with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too. At a brand new time, every third Saturday at 12 noon Central on GJRB.
This is GJR Broadcasting.